Hi everyone, welcome to the Nekozuki Yarns, episode 5. My name's Katie, and this is coming from Calgary, Alberta, out to all your lovely screens around the world. It is Monday, February 9th, 2015, not Sunday. I did actually record yesterday, but due to a whole bunch of reasons, that episode is not going up. And so I'm re-recording this evening, and actually has worked into your guys' benefit because a few of the things that weren't done yesterday are actually done today. So that was actually really good. Speaking of which, that actually changed the works in progress that I put in my show notes. So everything that I wrote yesterday is kind of, yeah, it's done actually. So works in progress right now. I'm actually working on a design project for me. This pattern will be going up in the next couple of days. I have knit this before, but I actually lost the cowl. I was so upset. So this is the second one. This is in Yarn Inc.'s Starry Night colorway? It's one of her bulky colors. Yeah, Starry Night. Superwash bulky. 106 yards, 100% superwash, 3.5 ounces. And it's knitting up really nice. Yeah, so just, it'll be a quick project, and I will write it up and post details for testing in the Ravelry group, actually. Everything will be conducted through there. If you're interested right now, let me know, and I'll put you on the earburn list for when it actually comes up for testing, which will be soon. Because I'm about halfway, and I've only probably put about an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of work into it, so not very long at all. I am still working on that sweater design. It needs a little bit of tweaking, considering that the shoulders are falling off me after a couple days wear. So I'll work on that here as well. The problem is that the top part is a 10-inch thing to rip out and reknit, and I just haven't worked up the gumption to do it yet. But that'll be happening soon as well. And so that leads me to faux. I do actually have a faux, or finished object. Now the ends aren't trimmed yet because these aren't even dry, completely dry from blocking yesterday. But these are the design mittens that'll be going up next. So it's a shaker rib pattern, and all I need to do is rewrite the decreases on the top, and then this will go up. There will be a small, medium size, and a medium large size that I need tested, probably 1 to 2 testers per. Again, all the details will be up in the group, and then I'll send you on your merry way to where the test thread is. So if you want to know, message me on Rav or through the chatter thread on the Ravelry group. So yeah, so they're really nice. This is what I'm calling the medium large size, because they're quite large. They're very squishy. I love how squishy they are, and they've got a nice long cuff. And they did stretch quite a bit. This is knit out of Patton's classic wool, 100% merino. It's 100% wool for sure. Probably a little bit more of a spring mitten than an actual, like, it's minus 30. I need to keep my hands from being hypothermic. Yeah, because it's a fairly loose, gauge. You can even see me through 2 layers of that if you stretch it out. But they're comfy and they're squishy, and they will be good for those in-between days where you don't need your down ski mittens. Like I did today. It's extremely cold in Calgary right now for some reason. Let's see, what else? I'm going to cast on the topography cowl, and I'm going to cast it on in what's called Neon Pop by Yarn Inc. as well. This episode is not sponsored by Yarn Inc., but I do love her yarns. Yeah, it's got a little bit of sparkle in it, which you can see actually really well. That's pretty color accurate too. It's a very bright, very neon. And the way that the topography cowl works out, you do need or topography shawl works out, you do need a multicolored yarn, so that's going to be mine. Super excited for that one too. What else did I do this week? I have read a lot in the last 2 weeks. Like, I mean a lot. Calgary Public Library just introduced free cards, which is amazing, and like $12 for me wasn't a big deal for a fee. I can understand how it is for some people, but for some reason finding out that the books were now free, like completely free, triggered this whole thing of like, well, I can put holds on everything. So that's pretty much what I did. I went and picked up about 16 books one night. I have set a trilogy aside that I was wanting to work on simply because it didn't float my boat, but it does other people's. It's been highly recommended, and I just couldn't do it. So I didn't. I set those ones aside. Honestly, I'm getting to the point where I want to read what I want to read, and so that's what I've done. Let's see, I've got a whole stack here, and I'm actually working on more. And so the first one I read was The Tower at Stony Wood by Patricia A. McKillip. This is the only adult book that I will talk about. This one can be read by teens. There's nothing overtly like sexual about it, which is fantastic. I've read one of her other books. I enjoyed it better, which was The Bard of Stone Plain. One of her Bard books. Bard of Bone Plain? One of those two. Anyway, this is a retelling of Lady of Shalott by Lord Alfred Tennyson. I probably would have done well to reread the poem before I read this book. I enjoyed the other one better. But, like, that's only the second McKillip book that I read, so I'm not going to judge everything on that. Then I read Deathsworn by Leah Sipes. People need a thesaurus, or need to realize that groups don't always need to be called by the same name. I don't know. It was okay. Not the best that I've read recently. This was the one, well, I'll show you how I read them in order. So I read Mistwood, and then I read Nightspell. Nightspell was very disappointing. Strong writing in both of these by Leah Sipes. This is Nightspell is also by Leah Sipes. I love the cover on this one. So pretty. Really strong writing. I did enjoy the writing in both of those. But I think this is her strongest, Mistwood. Very interesting ideas that could have been taken a little bit further in some cases, but good enough. Yeah, I think this is probably the best one she's written so far. Again, like, gorgeous cover. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't buy them. I'm glad I've taken them out as books because, yeah, considering that I read 4 in 2 weeks-ish, actually more like a week, I would run out of space a lot faster than I already am. The one I'm really enjoying, and I pretty much picked this up on a whim, is Akata Witch. Now, I'm going to try to pronounce the name. I think it's Nady Okorafor. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but it's fantastic. It's written by a Nigerian author living in the US, and I haven't done a lot of non-post-colonial reading from Nigerian, or a lot of African authors that aren't post-colonial, and I'm really enjoying this. So why I said that is because I don't know if this is based on traditional folklore, but I'm really enjoying it. It's very refreshing to read, and again, this one probably is a 14 plus-ish, just for themes like that. You'll understand them better if you're a little bit older. But I'm really enjoying this. I actually looked up to see if there's another book in this series, and apparently it's coming up this year. So I'll be picking that up as soon as I can. That one I will consider purchasing at a later date, just so I can have a copy that I can read at any point. Okay. I am kind of rushing through this a bit because my camera, lot better quality, I think, for the image, but it does like to cut out at 15 minutes. So I'm going to try and do all of the like chattery part of this in 15 minutes, although I don't know if that's going to work because it's already at 10. So if there's a little bit of blip around the 15-16 minute mark, just be aware. I still love you guys, and I will be right back after that blip. Okay, I actually went yarn shopping this weekend with a friend because she got a drop spindle for Christmas, and so I went and introduced her to one of my favorite local yarn stores, and picked up some stuff for me too because well, I was there and I saw it and it's pretty. So the first one is Heritage Silk Paints by Cascade 220. It is 85 merino superwash wool and a 15% mulberry silk. It's just got these gorgeous stripes in it, but broken up with some like black. So, and I'm sorry for the like, guys, I wanted to get this out though. Yeah, it's got like fuchsia, olive, spruce, mustard gold. It's gorgeous. And then while there, I saw the Lizzie dress by Tyga Hilliard, and it was knit out of a skein of Tough Love Sock by Sweet Georgia. So I have littles in my life. Well, one, and more on the way. So a couple of these will be knit up here in the next couple, well, next 6 months or so. This colorway is called Lawn. Sorry, I was going to say yawn. That's not the right word. It's an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And I have knit socks out of this before for the wedding, and yeah, it holds up pretty good so far. And then the final yarn item that I got was some Malabrigo Rasta for the sentiment shawl. Gorgeous color. This is called Pagoda. And Malabrigo Rasta has a very large gauge. And I think it's about 90 yards. Yeah, approximately 90 yards of, I know it's a wool, merino. It's right there on the back. So it's Pagoda merino, and it's, yeah, it's this nice rich red, kind of more like in here. That's fairly color true, it looks like. So I got those. And then I've been seeing these talked about online for a while, especially on Instagram. They're called the Knitter's Pride Knit Blockers. And so they're a set of needles, like blocking pins, that are set into plastic. And so this is them right here. And like, I'm super excited to try these out. They'll probably be used first on the topography cowl, or shawl. But yeah, they're really nice, as far as I can tell. Not having used them yet, I'm not 100% sure. But there's a set of 4 pins and a set of 8 pins. And they're quite pointy, but they're blunt, so you're not gonna like skewer yourself on them necessarily unless you stepped on them really hard. Oh yeah, so the topography shawlette is actually part of a cowl with Melissa Staja, who is hey_lady_hey on Instagram, and it's just an Instagram cowl, and I'm participating in that, and it's due by the 20th, so I need to get boogieing on it. But I do want to get this cowl done for you guys too, because I eventually want to start getting my designs out there again. And there's been a long break since October, but there's lots of Christmas knitting too. Okay, so a shop update will be happening on Wednesday still. And I have it all kind of set out nicely here, teasing you for the whole episode. I'll start here. I am going to have a notions pouch in a beautiful kimono fabric, as well as another one in a different style. These both match needle stashers that are in the shop right now. Or will be going up in the shop, like this one right here. So these are called needle stashers, that's my name for them, and they're snaps. So what ends up happening is you can put your DPN or magic loop project in this little pouch, and then you snap your snaps over top of your needles. So like if you're using magic loop, you can put them through here. or if you're using super long DPNs, these will all fit up to an 8-inch that I'm showing you today. You can snap them either end. Excuse me. So there's one in that kimono fabric, there's a cowboy fabric, and there is a wild, like, woods fabric, woodland creatures fabric. Yeah, I like them all actually. I don't use DPNs very often, but I'm thinking that for Magic Loop these will be fantastic. I'm really sorry if that snapping's loud, but it's like popping bubble wrap. And then to match the needle stasher, there's a woodland pouch. This is good for sock yarn. It would be fantastic for this topography cowl. And it's lined with mushrooms. I love this fabric. I love the matchy-matchy. That's also in that needle stasher. And see? It goes in there perfect. I've done 2 at a time socks in this kind of style. This is a bit different from what I normally produce. I normally produce a wider wedge. But the tall wedges are nice too. And you can also fold them down. Fold them down like this so that they sit by themselves and like are all nice and cute. And it shows off the gorgeous, like, mushroom fabric. And there's my camera, so I'm going to stop you. I'll be back in 1 moment. Hi! Okay, so this is the second one, or the next one. This is a nice big wedge bag. This will fit up to a 42-inch fairly light sweater. I cannot do air and weight in these bags. I have tried. They get too bulky around this point that you have the, like, sleeves on the body. But like a 42-inch DK weight sweater for a woman or a man. 42-inch is kind of unisex. And it's owly feathers and I love it. It's so pretty. And it has I put all these handles on them so that you can hang it off your wrist or off your bag when you're walking. If you knit sweaters like I do when you're walking, occasionally. And it zips up so that your yarn will come through right at your hand, left or right hand. So that it doesn't catch. I rarely, like, the only time I've had yarn catch on these zippers is, like for sweater yarns. I wouldn't suggest this bag necessarily for a lace bag. The only time I've had it catch is, when I've actually zipped it in myself. Anyway, oh, and there will be 2 of the woodland creatures and 2 of the cowboy needle stashers going up. Since I forgot that and I just realized it. And then another cowboy bag. This is my favorite. There'll be 2 of these. Again, the handle so you can hang it. There's a holster with some pistols and some rifles, and there's boots and lassos and bandanas, and it is lined with bandana fabric. And the same thing, you can fold it over, and your cowl or socks, anything like that will fit in here. Speaking of which, I'm actually using one of my prototype bags right now. I'm using one of the Kitschy Cats in the small wedge, and that is a bulky skein in there. Well, about half of it. The rest of it fits in there when I stuff the cowl into. So that's Wednesday, February 11th will be the shop update. And yeah, I do want to say a very warm welcome to everybody who has just started watching the podcast or has joined the Ravelry group. I sent out some invites over the weekend and I wasn't expecting the response I got. So thank you so much. It really makes this feel a lot more legitimate. Like I'm actually talking to people instead of just talking to myself in the camera. I don't like hearing myself talk that much. Almost. Yeah, I would really appreciate if you would come join us actually in the Rav group. We skyrocketed over 200 members so quickly, and we are now into the 300 members that I'm going to combine the giveaway for 200 and 300 together, and I will actually be offering up a notions pouch because everybody can use another notions pouch. The 100 member giveaway is currently for a pattern of your choice, available on Ravelry under $6 US. And then the pouch will be available, and I will figure out all the details for that and post it by this coming weekend for sure. Any giveaway, you need to be a member of the group. If you still have the guest symbol, I will just delete the post. If you join the group, because I'll delete it and let you know. If you join the group, then you can repost. Otherwise, it's one post per member. Yeah, and the thread's very obvious. I've stickied it to the top in Rav. Please join the group if you want some nice prizes. And if you want to know about upcoming tests, they will all be posted there. These mittens will likely go up for testing. Well, actually, I might try to get them up tonight. If not tonight, then I will get them up tomorrow night, I believe. I got a couple custom orders to make, but I should be able to manage that. I just, like I said, have to rewrite the mitten decreases so that they actually fit into what I knit in the sample. So yeah, if you're actually curious about any of my patterns or my one pattern currently up, I do test knit everything myself beforehand. I will write the pattern first and then work it out and work out the initial kinks. I do submit it for test knitting so that anything that's kind of garbled by me just putting stuff down on paper sometimes or not getting it caught in the first edit, that's what it goes to test knitting for a bit more. Because people call me out on it where I wouldn't have noticed it. So yeah, next update will be in the Etsy group on Wednesday, Etsy shop on Wednesday. I'm going to get these designs up as soon as I can. Watch for that in the forum on the Ravelry group. I will post and sticky a thread. Excuse me. Spread the word that I'm out here. I would love more members. Maybe we will skyrocket past 400 and it'll be an even bigger giveaway. And yeah, if you want a chance to win a pattern, we're around 26 entries right now. Go and enter the 100 member giveaway. You can find me on YouTube for Nekozuki Yarns. Obviously, if you're watching the podcast, you're watching on YouTube. That's the only way you can find my podcast. But I am on Rav, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Facebook, and Etsy. Pretty much all of my social platforms are under Nekozuki Yarns. So I hope you guys all have a good couple of weeks. Oh, the 100 member giveaway will close on February 22nd. So you have almost 2 weeks to enter still. And I will be doing the drawing via random.org on the next podcast in a couple of weeks. So yeah, I hope you guys all have an awesome couple of weeks. And if you need me, PM me or ping me on Rav and I will chat with you all soon. Have an awesome evening, guys. Bye.